Hello and welcome to another Form a Day challenge by clevr. My name is Kareem Cooperhouse and we are on day 11. And today I'm going to be sharing with you an emergency response form. Now, the emergency response form is really a plan. However, in our world, we just see that as a series of forms being completed by different stakeholders. So let's take a look at how we've done one of these plans. These are usually very long documents on 8.5 by 14 paper, and it goes on for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pages. And so what we're going to do here is take a look at one. Let me scroll down and find, there it is, the emergency response form. And so normally each school has their own form or their own plan, and this rolls up to the district level where an assistant superintendent or superintendent will review them and have them available at the district. So let's take a look at the first school here, Atlantic High School. And so what you have here is a template for all the schools. So each principal with his or her safety team, and that safety team can be indicated over here, as well as a community safety team, will go in and then complete these different tabs accordingly. And so if I go to the drills completed here, I can see all the fire drill evacuations, the alternative site evacuations, the lockdowns, and emergency medical responses. Here, as we saw before, I can see who's part of the safety team, who's part of the community team, who's on school staff, and I can just add more and more as needed. This can also be pre-populated by either a student information system or an HR system. And then over here, we're looking at health and safety. So who are the members for the health and safety committee? And then we're looking here at the evacuation plan. What areas are to be checked during evacuations and who's doing the checking? And what kind of assistance is being available to evacuate students requiring extra assistance? What about those students at alternate sites? So all this is being tracked within this form. They're also tracking lockdowns and different processes when there is a lockdown. And they're tracking as well medical emergencies. What kind of students require special concerns, special needs, who has AEDs, and they're referencing some links outside of the organization that are related to that. And then bomb threats, they've put in 5 opportunities to follow up on bomb threats. Hopefully they will never have to use this, but this is where they would be able to document these bomb threats. And then what's neat is that all of these fields here are searchable fields. So you'd be able to search across all your schools how many times there was a bomb threat with this particular field over here being checked. Same thing again for missing students. There's a whole section here where they are tracking all of the information related to missing students and really down to all the nitty-gritty details, as well as appropriate statements that were taken, and so on and so forth. As I scroll back up, there's a section here where they can upload certain documents that are related to this emergency response. What is also powerful about this form is the ability to create a printout. Now, the information that you have over here in this emergency response form ultimately will become part of a community-based or a form or a plan that is shared with the community. But you don't necessarily want to share everything that's in here. And with our print editor, you're able to pick and choose what fields you would like to see in a printout. So if I click on the printout over here, you will quickly realize that it's completely different than the user interface that you see over here. And the reason being is that you can pick and choose the fields that you want. You can custom design your PDF printout. You can put whatever it is that you want in here and really customize it and make sure that what you're sharing on your district website in terms of a plan really is aligned with what you want your community to see. The last thing I wanted to share with you is the availability of reporting. So if I come back and look at some of the reports here, so if I go into my advanced search and I go find that form, the emergency response form, there it is. I am able to pick any field in that form and do a search. So if I wanted to do something rather simple, let's go take a look at when was the last time that this emergency response plan was updated. As a superintendent or assistant superintendent, I'd like to know at the beginning of the year whether or not we're now, into 2021. I'd like to know if back in the fall these plans were updated. So I can come over here and say, take a look at the plans. Let's just, for the last few weeks, deselect all of these, and I'm only interested in this particular field. I'm going to do a search. And of course, there's nothing there because nobody's updated their plans. If I go back and say, you know what, I want to see a little bit more detail there. Let's scroll down and look at 2020 up to now and date last updated and do a search. Still nothing. So I've got a problem. I know that none of my principals since the beginning of the school year have updated their emergency response forms. I need to remind them that they need to do that. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick overview of an emergency response form. We do a lot of these types of forms, whether they're COVID plans or strategic plans or emergency response plans, IT plans. All of this can be automated within the Clevr platform. Stay tuned to more for the next Form a Day challenge.